The labor of our heroes past has finally ended in vain. Minimum wage or maximum wage. The battle for the new minimum wage in Nigeria took a turn recently when the federal government proposed 62,000 naira, while the organized labor has lowered its demand from 494,000 naira to 250,000 naira. So the battle is still on. We are watching. The Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Senator or former governor now, George Akume, a former governor for 8 years, former senator, says he cannot afford to pay any of his drivers 100,000 naira despite all the subsidies when him and the family they enjoy from the country. Well, now in talk cannot be me. Even as organized labor criticized members of the organized private sectors of doing the bidding of state governors by hiding under the bogus name of small and medium scale enterprises to claim they cannot pay reasonable wage. But I won't ask, but really are these people really organized? Anyway, that's a question for another day. Industry experts and financial analysts have, however, warned that the economy is on a tough road to recovery, adding that the organized labor must show a good understanding of the problem that has befallen our nation, as any minimum wage level above 60,000 and or return to subsidy would spell doom for the economy and further complicate the process of recovery. Grammar, you will say. Because they also posited that an increase in the minimum wage will automatically, 100% increase in the minimum wage will automatically means a 100% increase in the wages of every other workers, including those who are already earning millions of naira now, as there will be more money chasing fewer goals because it will have to be adjusted, that way. I agree with them. But while I agree with them, our industry expert, but I dare say that paying a living wage in Nigeria is not what will stop our economy from recovery, because I've not even seen the indices to show hope of recovery. So help us, I beg, just follow me so that we look at the indices together. Despite the fact that subsidy is gone, it was reported recently that the federal government spent 3.6 trillion naira on fuel subsidy in 2023 and has projected 5.4 trillion in 2024. Yet the economy is recovering, they say. I counted 72 exotic SUVs in the president convoy recently, with none of the vehicles produced in Nigeria. And we all know that our governor's convoys also contain half of such exotic vehicles. Not to talk of ministers, state commissioners, local government chairmen, and the families of most government officials, and the one where they dash traditional rulers and friends. I've not mentioned the fuel consumption of these vehicles in these convoys. Are these not subsidies for government officials and cronies? Do you even know how much this capital flight, is for to purchase all of these plenty vehicles? In a poor country like Nigeria, we recently spent 21 billion naira to build a new befitting house for the current vice president of the country, as we have also splashed 90 billion naira to subsidize the 2024 Hajj for attending pilgrims, despite allocating only 50 billion naira for student loan scheme. So please follow me when they look at the indices of recovery. We don't even know how much our president, governors, senators, House of Representative members, and even state legislators earn. Our speculations arrived that it is between 25 to 15, as the minimum is 5 million, with various specs of office, constituency allowance, and all kinds of allowances, project and budget allocation. So tell me, is such bogus earning will allow any economic recovery in a poor country like Nigeria? So why won't everybody be asking for their own share, considering the current market reality? A yam now, tuber of yam now, 8,000, 9,000. How much did we spend to purchase new vehicles for the current president, his wife, ministers, the current governors, their wives, their commissioners, and even state assembly members, with at least 2 for one person? Since we are recovering the economy, please, I beg, remind me again. Apart from a few innocent vehicles that were assembled here, how many of the vehicles were produced from start to finish in Nigeria? Since at least we are talking about recovering the economy. How much was recovered from the former Accountant General of the Federation? I've been at the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, running into billions. How about Haja Sadia and Beta Edu, the humanitarian disaster ministers? Recovery is still fresh in our memory. A former director of finance in the Federal Ministry of Health recently forfeited a whole university he allegedly stole public funds to build to the federal government. The allegations that the current chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue also allegedly spent 3.5 billion of taxpayers' money to purchase 6 bulletproof vehicles, as also he flew 15 out of his 50 aides to London for God knows what. So this is what is draining the economy. If you look at the various sleaze going on at the state level and the ones at the local government level, ministries, parastatals, and agencies of state, we won't even live here. We don't even want to talk of the ones bankers assist our politicians to take out of the country regularly. That's why some people say that are the reason why many of the politicians, they cry during late about Wigwe's burial. I don't know. Now people, they talk the matter hush hush. They say, I don't know. Since 1999, our various ministries, parastatals, agencies, state and local government have all been hemorrhaging from sleaze. And it is getting worse by the day. This is what is stopping the country from recovery. This is what we need to put a stop to, and not the demand for minimum or living wage. So I will therefore advocate, if the government is sincere about economic recovery, there's need to reduce taxes, reduce government expenditures and wastage, fund infrastructural development, promote accountability and transparency in government and public institutions at all levels, encourage industrial development and growth that will provide jobs, stimulate growth, and improve productivity and livelihood. Then embrace compliance with the rule of law at all levels, irrespective of political party, position, or office. But if we continue with this subsidy for political office holders while taxing the poor, thinking that the economy will recover soon, in a place for a demand for minimum wage, the government might be getting a maximum wage from the citizens, because there's only a limit to how much you can push a people who are hungry. Well, like always, I don't talk my own. You can either agree or disagree with me by sharing your comment on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. For a little fire you live today and leave you without a little tomorrow. See you next week.